Hi there. So today we'll be looking at what collocations are. We've already taken a look at what compound words are. We've taken a look at what binomials are. Similarly, we have different combinations of words that have a specific meaning and they are always used as a unit. Such terms that you have are called collocations. Now, what they mean is that in English, because of the usage of different words as units or together very often or very frequently, what's happened over time is that certain words have always come to be known together or used together. So this is because this comes very naturally to many English speakers or to people who speak English as their mother tongue. But for other people, it might become a little strange to learn so many different words that always go together. The only way to learn them is to keep looking at those words, trying to figure out whether they are collocations or not, and then writing them down and practicing using them again and again. So here, let's take a look at what these collocations are. So let me give you an example of a collocation. You must have heard something like a round of applause, right? So here, we usually hear the word round of applause, right? Or the words round of applause. Do you ever hear round of cheer? No. The reason is because round of applause is an example of a collocation. They always go together. Round always goes with applause. Similarly, whenever you say that someone has done something wrong, you say they have committed a crime, right? Committed a crime. Do you ever say performed a crime or do a crime? No. We always say to commit a crime, right? Or to commit an offense. So these words are also examples of collocations. They are words that have simply learned or melded together and they have been used together because that's the way it's been and that's the way it is going to be. The only way to learn them is to keep practicing them, so pay attention. Now there are many different combinations of collocations that you can have depending on the part of speech of the words involved in forming the collocation. Let's take a look at the examples. In the first example, we have an adverb plus an adjective. So an example here would be utterly stupid. Yes, it is utterly stupid if I don't listen to this video lecture right now, right? So here, utterly is an example of an adverb. It is telling me something about the adjective stupid. So it was utterly stupid of me to stay at home when there was a party at my friend's house. So here, utterly stupid is an example of two words that are often seen together. You'll not say utterly bored. Rather, you often hear the terms utterly stupid, right? Now, the next type we have is an adjective plus a noun. Let's take a look at an example. We have regular exercise. So you often hear this, you need to have regular exercise in order to stay fit. You must have heard this in your fitness class or in your science class where they're telling you that regular exercise is important for health. Regular is an adjective and exercise is obviously a noun. Therefore, these two terms are often seen together. They form a collocation. Next, we look at noun and a noun. So an example would be this one right here, round of applause. So here, round is acting as a noun. So is the word applause. So here we have two nouns and they're often seen together. Round of applause, they form a collocation. Now we have noun plus a verb. So an example here would be the plane took off or the plane landed, right? Plane landed. So here we have the verbs took off and landed are both verbs and plane is a noun. So we often say plane took off or plane landed. We do not say plane rose or plane flew above from this highway. We just say took off. They're used as a collocation. You could use other words, but these two words seem to just fit. Reason is because they have been used that way for a long time, will be used that way for a long time, and they are therefore collocations. Now next we have verb plus noun. Let's take a look at an example here. We've already seen this phrase here, commit a crime. So here commit is an example of a verb and crime here is a noun. So here we commit a crime, commit an offense, right? So commit is a verb and this is a noun. Again, this is forming a collocation. We can also have collocations where you have a verb followed by an expression that contains a preposition. An example would be burst into tears. Do you ever say exploded into tears? No. We always say she burst into tears, he burst into tears. Maybe if he's a kid, because that would offend a lot of people if I said that older people burst into tears. But burst into tears, we have the word burst here we have a verb, and into is a preposition followed by tears, right? So we have burst into tears, verb plus an expression with a preposition forming a collocation. Now another combination we could have is a verb plus an adverb. Here we can have the example whispered softly. So we often whisper softly, so we use the word soft together with whispered, therefore it is a collocation. So here whispered is obviously a verb, it is an action telling us what is being done, and the adverb is the word describing how the action is done. Softly is therefore the adverb. So we've taken a look at the different types of combinations that we could have in order to form collocations. Like I already said, collocations, there are many of them in the English language, and you just have to remember them through practice, through the use of those collocations again and again. That is the only way that it is going to stay in your head and you're going to be able to use it properly, so that you don't make mistakes like saying to do a crime. Don't say do a crime. We always say commit a crime. So take care of those collocations, note them down, write them down, and keep practicing.